A long time ago, in 2019, a magic card was printed. A powerful one. It was called Risen Reef. It was one of a few cards that continued a trend of powerful green and blue multicolored staples that would lead to a few bans in that standard rotation. For the cost of one generic, one blue, and one green mana, you get a 1/1 elemental that can put a land into play from the top of your deck or draw you a card. And it also does this whenever another elemental creature comes into play. Meaning that in multiples, Risen Reef can generate an absurd amount of card advantage. Wait, multiples. What if every card in your deck had the potential to be a Risen Reef? All you need to do is have a real one on the field, then the rest of your deck becomes a photocopy machine that prints lands and card draw. With the help of some cutting-edge piloting neural interface technology from Kamigawa, a mysterious rogue from Zendikar, an ancient and experienced cove walker from Kaldheim, as well as the cloning expertise of both the Simic and the Izzet guilds, we have a deck ready to print copies of an old friend and favorite card of mine. Now let's get into the gameplay.
Just 1 minute, please.
Thanks for checking out the gameplay. And here is the deck for your perusal. This is the Simic Attack of the Clones or Save the Reefs deck, where the whole idea is just to copy Risen Reef as many times as possible. You saw the gameplay, we had as many as 6 of them in play at certain points, and the whole idea is you just kind of draw into Jace and win by decking yourself out, or you just win by swarming the opponent with more creatures than they can deal with. We don't have any 2-drops in the deck because we don't really need them. We just accelerate into our 3-drops with our Boreal Grazer and Land Warriors. We have Glasspool Mimic, which doubles as a land, also doubles as an extra copy of any of our creatures. What's cool about Mindlink Mech is that you can crew it using Risen Reef, it becomes a copy, and then anything that enters the battlefield as a copy of Mindlink Mech remains a creature. It does not go back to being a vehicle, and doesn't need to be crewed again, because there isn't anything inherent about vehicles that requires them to be crewed. It's just an artifact type. So, if you copy a vehicle that's crewed, Mindlink Mech loses its crew ability when it becomes a new creature. So when you copy it, those copies continue to be crewed vehicles. That's why we have quasi-duplicate, Croaking Counterpart. Croaking Counterpart also can come in handy in copying your opponent's creatures. In one of the earlier games you saw I made a copy of Shieldred, force the opponent to sacrifice a creature. That was really cool. Now, Jace, I didn't get any wins off of Jace because he is just a 1-of, and you usually win just by beating your opponent down with lots and lots of creatures. Orvar the All-Form is a 2-of, and he makes all of your instants and sorceries that make copies twice as good, because he himself makes a copy as well. And the best part is, if you cast Croaking Counterpart, it doesn't make a frog token copy, it just makes a normal copy. So he's really cool. Also, Orvar the All-Form is a shapeshifter, so when he enters the battlefield, triggers Risen Reef, because he counts himself as an elemental. Now the rest of the deck is just lands. You know, the average count of lands. There's 21 lands. It's 21 lands because the deck just tops at 4. Plus, you're going to just be drawing into most of your lands with Risen Reef. Also, Glasspool Mimic counts as a land. So we've technically got 25 lands. But yeah, that's the deck. And if you want to play this, feel free. Just there should be a link to the deck on Untapped, and you can get it there. But thanks for watching, and enjoy playing this deck if you put it together, because it is a whole lot of fun. See you around.
But you didn't have to cut me off. Make up like it never happened and that we were nothing. I don't even need your love, but you treat me like a stranger and it feels so rough. No, you didn't have to stoop so low. Have your friends collect your records and then change your number. I said I don't need that though. Now you're just somebody that I used to know. Now you're just somebody that I used to know. Now you're just somebody that I used to know.